What's up, guys? Today we are back at the Invictus 2952 week. Today we'll be looking at Aegis. Aegis has quite a few ships that I'm interested in, and yeah, you know what? Let's not really dabble too much. Let's just jump right into it. All right, let's see what we've got. Oh man, so many good options. Aegis is just one of my favorite brands in this game. It has the Hammerhead, which is arguably the coolest military ship in the game. I know people might that might be a point of argument, but hey, you know what? That's the beauty. There's so many ships that you can choose which one's your favorite based on almost so many factors, just whether it looks cool or whether it performs well, stuff like that. We're gonna kind of like what we did with our last video. We're going to leave the Hammerhead for last because that's my favorite one. So we're just gonna walk around the outskirts, see what's around, and then we'll tackle the Hammerhead last. So first on the lineup, this is the Aegis. Was it Retaliator? I used to have one of these. This is actually one of my first multi-crew ships. I remember I had the Freelancer, and I had this one. I melted both of them down to then get the now Hercules C2, and I'm pretty happy with that choice. But man, did I love the way this ship looked. This was like one of the nicest looking ships at the time, and it was cool, right? Like it was like fascinating. Let's go look inside. But before we look inside, let's do a kind of walk around, and so you guys can see the absolute size of this behemoth. It's not massive, but for what it does, it is actually a very large ship. It's a torpedo ship. There's different variants. The cheapest variant isn't a torpedo variant. It has like compartments. The idea behind it is that in the future they'll add modular support. So instead of having like a torpedo bay, it'll just be like an empty cargo bay, and then you can turn it into whatever you want, a med bay or whatever. So that's the idea behind the lower class variant. But most people, when they think about this ship, they think it's a torpedo ship. All right, let's see if we can gain access through one of the two elevators located conveniently in the lobby. Such a nice looking ship. I don't know. There's something about it looks cool. Like it's very easy to maneuver yourself. You're not gonna get lost. We have these torpedoes. You have torpedoes on the front and the back. This is right here. It's kind of like a mock-up engine room. Very small engine room, but it is an engine room. Then we have another pro of this ship is just so many turrets. I mean, I think it has like in total, I don't know, I'm going to butcher it, but I think it's like 5 turrets. Turret. So there's 3 in the back, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I think there might be one. There might be up and down. No. Only one on the bottom. So there's, see? Yeah, so there's one here, one there, one on the other side, so that's 3. Go to the middle compartment here. We have the entrance. We have airlock, which it's not really an airlock as much as it's like just, I guess it is an airlock, but it's not it doesn't have a collar or anything. More torpedoes, and then we get to the pilot. So this is the front. Always, every single time. So we have a turret here, and then we have the pilot seat, and then we have the captain's quarters over here. It's a nice looking ship. I've always been fond about this. So we have a turret up here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I've counted up until now. Then we have guns, and then the sleeping area, which is honestly this top part isn't too bad. This is pretty nice. Got a nice little sleeping area up there, back there. What's on this side? Oh, just a bathroom, I guess, for the crew. This is a very particular, very focused purpose ship, right? Like you're not buying this ship as a multi-purpose ship unless you have like that modular system. But right now in the game, there is no modular system. So power on. It's a nice looking ship. Do I miss melting it for the Hercules? And probably not. So here we have the Saber Comet. Very cool looking. I like the paint it has. Very, very nice. Seems to have 4 front facing, 1 ballistic. No, this actually might be 4 energy. I don't know. I'm an idiot. Don't listen to me. Let's get into the cockpit and see how that looks. Has inventory. Not what I wanted to. Ah, there it is. Oh, that's really cool. I was like, man, I can't get in there if the gun's there, but that's pretty cool. Very cool. Nice. I like it. Very cool looking interior. Yeah, I mean, it's exactly... Oh, self-destruct. I don't think I want to press that. Yeah, it's a nice looking interior. Somewhat moderately sized fighter. I really have nothing to say about this one because I've never actually flown it. But now you know. It's here. So if you guys want to rent it, have fun. It's very cool looking. Look at those engines. All right, on to the next one. All right, here we have the Aegis Redeemer. This is a gunship slash landing, you know, kind of like a drop ship. It is very cool looking, very thick, very armored, very weaponized. It even has, and this is something that I don't see often with other ships. If you can see, like the Hammerhead has like a flat foot skid type landing gear, right? Even the fighter has flat gears, but this one has wheels. That's pretty cool. That's actually, I think that's one of the very few, if not only, ship I've seen in Star Citizen that has wheels as gears. Just staring from here, we have a ton of guns. What seems to be a turret that would be, this might be a pilot turret, the main forward guns with 2 on the side. But that turret is massive, and that you have another turret in the back that's massive. Insane. Let's take a look inside. Look at the size of these engines. It's a thick boy. Yeah, I'm trying to not. Thank you. All right, guys. So I've hit somewhat of a hiccup here. I can't get in the rent feature. Oh. I'm too slow. I don't know. Let me see. I'm trying. Yeah, I can't access the keypad even from within the ship. All right. Yeah. So we're definitely not getting into the Redeemer. It's a cool ship. If you guys manage to get into the event and you can get into this ship, let me know if you like it. Let me know if it's if the interior was worth the hassle of getting in. Also, guys, I want to remind you, if you like what you're seeing, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to give a like on the video. Those likes are super important. Also, if you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and yeah, we have, I think, like 3 or 4 more days of this, so I will be here. I'll be here covering each event. So yeah, make sure to subscribe. Okay. And over here we have a floating guy. So I'm just gonna glance over this one because this is essentially the same ship that was on the other side. The other side was just the Comet variant. This is just Saber. So I'm just letting you guys know there are 2 variants. So if you do come to the event, just make sure to look at both. This one is relatively the same. It has a different paint job, and it seems to be, I think that the cockpit's the same. Different paint job. I'm sure there's some mechanical differences as well. But as far as like me showing you in this event, right? That's where the differences end. All right, now we're going to check the auxiliary. I call them the auxiliary additional convention areas. These areas will usually house more ships. And we're going to go check those out. Unlike Anvil show, this one does have both halls open. So this is hall 2 to 3. And we're going to go check that side. And then we're going to go and cross the show and go to the other hall as well. So right now we're heading to... So I think only hall 2 is available for this one. On this side. Hall 3 is closed. So let's go and check it out. So this is the Gladius Valiant. It is a light fighter. It is arguably one of the coolest looking fighters in this game. It kind of reminds me of like jet fighters of today's era. You know, like it just has that vibe, but it also it has a ton of guns, and it is meant for dogfighting. So this is a dog fighter. One of the things that really stood out to me from the beginning of like just what like whenever I saw the Gladius is used by a lot of NPCs as well, so it's not a rare ship to see, but even when you do see it, it's such a cool looking ship. For me, what stands out is always these rear engines and how like just that flat profile, like it just looks so cool. I don't know why, it's just something about it, just it's a very cool looking ship. It's just a nice looking ship. Looks really cool. Let's check inside and see how that goes. Oh, wait, guys, suffering from like a bit of a headache, so thank you for dealing with me today. You know, if you guys were here for the last video, you guys heard me talk about the Hornets, just the canopy in general. This is so cool. This is so freaking cool. The canopy is so open, and you have everything available to you. It's funny because it has like worn out edges, as if like this has been like flown through missions, and it's definitely a worn out ship because it's a used ship. It's a ship that's seen combat, right? So that's pretty cool. As far as heads up display goes, I can't give you much information. You can't turn these ships on, so. But yeah, at least you can see the cockpit and you know, make up your own mind. All right, and again, whenever I show you guys ships, I'm by no means giving you a comprehensive look at each ship. There are tons of videos out there by really awesome YouTubers. This is just hanging out. We're looking at all the ships. We're window shopping. I love these events. I do this on my own, and this is the first year that I figure, you know what? Let me bring everyone along. Anybody who enjoys Star Citizen can jump in these videos and just kind of hang out and, you know, listen to me while I just go and, you know, check out all these ships. You know, and if you can't go to the event this particular time, or if you can't, or if you miss a day, you could always use these videos to kind of catch up and see if there's any ships that you've missed. So I called this the Avenger Titan, and this is like a newbie mistake, but it's my mistake to make. This is the Warlock. Let me actually go check real quick. It is an interdiction. The Avenger Warlock was built towards a single design philosophy: stop ships, don't destroy them. Cool, very, very cool. So almost like an EMP, right? The closest to non-lethal fire of the Warlock stuff with a bearing. Yep, EMP generator. So this is an EMP ship. Very cool, very, very cool. Hopefully we can get in, because right now the rent. Okay, wait, just like a small little sliver here we can kind of access. Kind of wish this was like something a little more up the ladder of fixing, because, you know, I don't know. This does not feel like you should be in here. This is not something that you should not be in there while it's operating. It just doesn't feel right. Yeah. So this is the Warlock. It's actually a really cool name. Now that I think, like, when you think about it, like, it's called the Warlock because, like, it's, you know, it's an EMP. It's like, it's gonna cast magic upon your enemies to stop their ships. So that's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of the cockpit profile of the penguins. Very cool, very open, very fighter-like, even for a ship that's not really a fighter, right? Like, it'll fight. Don't ever sleep on the penguins, but for the most part, right, like, there's multiple uses. It's not like the Gladius that's just fighter, right? Like, this has, obviously, this ship has an EMP equipped on it. Very cool. I really, it sucks I can't give you guys any more information on, like, each, like, you know, when it turns on, like, the screens, how the screens look and all that stuff, because you can't turn the ships on. But I'm trying my best here with what we can do here at the show. And for those of you guys who are here at on my last video, at the Anvil show, I think my rent button is also bugged again. So we'll get to this in a sec. We're gonna, because we already touched up on the Warlock. Let's touch up on the other penguins. I've been playing this game I first jumped into Star Citizen like 6 years ago, maybe, and it just comes to show you, right? Like, no matter how long you've been playing a game, no matter how long you've been, you know, related to a project, you don't know everything, and you most definitely don't know easy, simple, trivial questions. So just 2 seconds ago, I was like, I mean, I call these the penguins, right? So I honestly, like, I think it's a really cool name to just call it that. But I've always referred to them as, like, the Titans, right? Like, it's just in my mind, like, I call it like the Aegis Titan. I don't know why. It never occurred to me. It's like my mind just swept over the Avenger part. And, like, now it just dawned on me. I guess now that I stop and I'm making these videos, I'm talking to you guys, and, like, I'm actually thinking about, like, what the name of these ships are. I'm like, the Avenger's the name of the ships. You know, like, that's the name of the ship. The Titan, the Warlock, right? All of those are just, like, they're just variants. So, yeah, I gotta stop calling it the Titan. I think I'm gonna confuse a lot of people. So yeah, all right. With that said, this is the Avenger Stalker. It's still an interdiction style ship, but instead of an EMP, this one has what seems to be like a prisoner hold. So like it has like prisoner cargo cells. I'm not 100% sure, but it does have guns. It looks like a penguin. Very cool. And yeah, if you go inside, it has what seems to be cells for prisoners or bounties. So could be a bounty ship. Really cool. I'm going to just refrain from showing the cockpit multiple times. It's the same cockpit amongst all the Avenger series. So just for sake of time, and I don't want to waste your time either. So just know that the cockpit for all of these is relatively the same thing. One thing I did want to mention about the Avenger series is how striking it is to the space shuttle. Like it has like these heat panels right here, right? Like if you look real close, like you see how like some of them are marred white, some of them are used up, some of them are cleaner than others, and then you have the white texture on top. This is very space shuttle, right? Like when I say space shuttle, I'm saying like the actual like NASA space shuttle program, right? It has that same vibe to it. I'm gonna post a photo up if I can, so you guys can see. And that's really cool. That's always caught me. That's always caught my eye, and it's always interested me. Because I don't think other ships have like heat shields like that, like heat panels, to dissipate heat. So pretty cool. And now we come to the Avenger Titan. This is the standard. A lot of players have this as their starter ship. It's arguably one of the best starter ships out there. It has a little bit of cargo area. You've got your sleeping quarters. You've got the standard cockpit that we've seen, and a pretty decent array of beginner weapons. And it just looks this cool. That's the cool part, and it flies really nicely. We're going to open up. I do not want to rent it. We're gonna open up this door, and then I'm gonna check it. So the blue one is like the Renegade variant. I don't know if there's a difference, but we're gonna go look at it. So this is how the interior is. There is cargo space, which is really, really cool, and then you have your same crew quarters, and then the pilot. It's a nice little ship. If you're gonna do delivery runs, it's very comfortable. If you're going to do even some mild, like maybe resource trading, you could do it. It's very small cargo for it, but you could do it. I think this is just a colored variant. I'm sure there might be some mechanical differences, but from what I'm seeing, it's really just a color variant. And that's the Avengers for you. Next on the lineup is the Eclipse. This is a bomber. The Aegis Eclipse is a bomber designed to get in and strike before it's ever even spotted. After extensive service with the UEE, this high-tech military equipment made its civilian market debut in 2947. Looks freaking scary. Very cool looking. Very slick. Obviously, it is not hard to tell that it has been inspired by the real life B-2 bomber. Maybe a mix of like the F-117, right, and like the B-2 bombers. Let's go inside. Let's check the pilot seat. Oh man, this is so cool. This looks fucking dope. Like, you're not a fighter. I feel protected in here, right? Like, I'm a bomber, right? I need to go in, I need to drop my bombs, and I gotta get out. And I feel... Yeah, this ship is really nice. You even have a little handle here. It's a very well thought out. So many buttons to touch and look at, and it's just... you're in the thick of it, and I like this. I really do. I'm sure somebody would Did you guys see that? There's like an NPC just bouncing, and then it just flew upwards. All right, on to the next one. Does this have any forward-facing weapons? It does. 2 forward-facing weapons. Very cool. Okay, so we are here. We're entering, I think, Hall 4? The other one had like, oh, here it is, Hall 4. So we're entering Hall 4. And yeah, we're going to go back to the Hammerhead. The Hammerhead's going to be the last thing we touch in this video. I'm really excited. That is probably my most favorite ship of the show today. But we're going to go into Hall 4 and we're going to go look at and see what's here. So in Hall 4, we have the Aegis Vanguard and the different variants. So this is the Aegis Vanguard Sentinel. It is a ship that uses EMPs to fight its enemies. It seems to be a little different though than the Warlock in the sense that this one seems to deploy EMPs instead of having an EMP on it that discharges. So it's almost like it could be like an offensive deployment of EMPs. So that's pretty cool. It's got guns, a lot of guns. Well, actually, it's got missiles and a turret and a forward-facing railgun from the looks of it, an energy weapon. I think these are four weapons on the nose. Let's go inside and see. Hopefully we don't have an issue. So this is actually kind of interesting. I was saying earlier about the wheels. Now we got tracks. So I honestly, I feel like this is the first time I've played this game, right? Like it feels that way. I feel like I'm learning things that I should have known years ago. There we go. Beautiful. Is this for me to rent or for me to open? There we go. Wow. Oh, this is very fancy. Look at this. You got like charts and stuff. Very, very cool. So this is, you got crew quarters. You have like a station, I guess, to deploy the EMP and then the pilot seat. Let's see how this cockpit looks. Not a fighter. This is mainly support. So, yeah. Nice. Gives me a little bit of a Hornet vibe. Like the lighting. The underlighting on here looks very fancy. Even though it's not supposed to be fancy, but it is fancy. Very nice. I like it. It is a very nice looking ship, though. So here we have the Vanguard Hoplite. This is a dropship variant. That's a big gun. So it still has the 4 nose weapons. It has that main, looks like ballistic, but it could be energy. Let's check the back and let's see what this dropship, what the dropship portion of it looks. This one will most likely have seats because it's a dropship. So yep, seats and a gun rack. Very important. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seats. And a few guns available on the gun rack. Okay, turret access right here. So you do have a turret and the pilot seat, which we've already been on the cockpit. I don't think the cockpits are going to change very much depending on the different variants. So aptly named, this is the Harbinger, and it is a bomber. I'm actually quite interested. I don't think I've ever seen the bomber variant. Maybe I've just skipped out on it prior visits. That's a massive gun in the front. I feel like the guns are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It still retains those 4 guns in the front. With muzzle brakes, these are like 50 cals, if not bigger. We do have missiles on the sides, which I think the other one lacks. Yeah, that one does not have missiles. So this one does have. I'm curious. I want to see how this looks. It's going to have bombs on the side? All right. No? Oh, I guess. Okay, cool. So there's a bomb. But this is a lot of room for a bomber. Wait, is it like... This is luxurious. This is a bomber? You could just honestly call this like a luxury Vanguard. Luxury Vanguard model. You know, for the rich and bomb enthusiasts. But yeah, you have bombs. So... It's a very spacious. I was expecting it to be a little more a little closer to like the Retaliator, right? So like maybe it's gonna be like massive bombs on this side and massive bombs, but this is a very habitable bomber. Bathroom and everything for the size is actually very nice. I see the bomb door, the bomb bays here. Yeah, I see it. I guess I don't know. Either way, that's a very comfortable bomber. So unlike the Gladius, this is a heavy fighter. So this is the Warden. The Vanguard Warden is the heavy fighter variant of the Vanguard class. It is very heavy looking. I don't see any additional weapons that would classify it. I guess it has a larger size front facing weapon or gun, and then it has those four facing the 4 nose guns, and then it has the missiles. I want to see how the interior looks. I'm willing to bet the interior is not that much different from the Harbinger class, because the Harbinger class it looks very comfortable inside. And I can't imagine what a fighter, if the space is already there, right, then they might as well just use it to the maximum potential, you know, like, so they're just going to have, like, it's going to be the Harbinger. It's literally exactly what I said. Yep, 2 beds, 1 for the turret, 1 for the pilot. You do not have, oh, you do, the bathroom's on this side. Yeah, so you have a bathroom, you have a weapons rack, which is really cool. You do have the turret. And this is the Warden. This is the heavy fighter variant. All right, we are done with the additional hallways. We're gonna go now down. I'm assuming there's a underground portion. There's usually always like the prototype stages, the concept art, all that stuff, and then the ground vehicles. So we're gonna go down there. We're gonna check those out, and then for the end of the presentation, we're gonna go look at the Hammerhead, which is my favorite ship of the show. No ground vehicle here. Any ground vehicle over there? No ground vehicle. So this might just be concept art. I normally don't really care about concept art, because if you're not going to show me what it is, it usually like this is what you see. I know a lot of enthusiasts are really excited for it, but I just don't see much. Like, there's not a lot of information here. This is the Vulcan. Medium repair, medium refuel. It's cool looking. I have very little information. There's no interior for me to show you, so that's that. And then we have this thing. This is the Nautilus. Beautiful name. I really like that name. Oh, I should probably tell you what it does. It is a mine layer. So it lays mines. And for the grand finale, the Aegis Hammerhead. This is a Corsair Corvette type ship. It is all guns, all fury, all armor. I was watching a YouTube video the other day that presented lore about this ship. And this ship, the lore that was written into it is really cool. Supposedly, the design of the ship, right, is meant to be like super survivable, right? Like, this is like, you send this ship up against, you know, like capital ships. You send it into like the front lines. It is meant to be a warship. So yeah, we're gonna go and look at the ship. But before we go in, let me just kind of like walk you guys around, so you guys really get a scope of how large this ship is. It's got a ton of turrets, but when you do get into it, it goes out, it extends outward, so you have a wider range of mobility, so you can attack different vectors better. So that's pretty cool. We're gonna go in through one of the side elevators. I'm not gonna go in through the engine bay, because I kind of want to show the ship in that side. You know, like, I want to kind of do a loop through it. This is by far not the largest ship. This is not the largest, and it's not even close to being what I would consider like a super large ship. But it's still like a really nicely sized, you know, battleship. It's a battleship. I guess there are more than 2 decks. There might be more than 2 decks. Like, there might be 3, because I think there's like a habitat deck on the top. We'll see. We'll count it. So right now we are on, I think this is like the mid deck, because you do have the pilot deck. You do have the cockpit, which is below the mid deck. Let's enter the turret scene and see if it goes out. I just realized that, like, I'm bleeding. I don't know what caused the bleed. Let's see if we can survive this tour without dying. All right, so this is the mid deck. We're gonna cover this deck first, and then we'll so there's 2 turrets on the front. This is the struts that I told you about earlier. Then you have 2 turrets in like what could potentially be like the midship, right? And then here you have in like an engineering area, turrets. There's another turret over here. So many turrets. All right, captain's quarters. We're midship right now with a bedroom, and a bathroom. All very utilitarian. I don't know if you guys realize, but like the colors are very muted. This almost gives me like the color wise, it's a little bit like the Starfarer, I think it's called. So it is very muted colors. I do like the rounded edges, very cool. So we do have a turret here, and then we have crew quarters over here. Very cool. So there's crew quarters. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus accompanying bathrooms. Then we get to engineering. So we're at the back. There is a turret all the way at the back. Literally all the way at the back. So there's that turret. So you can technically take vehicles in here. So you can carry vehicles. So if you want to use it as like a Corvette style ship where it's like, instead of it being fully militarized, you do have like a crew and you're doing like cargo or you're doing like, you know, other stuff. You could technically do that. This is such a cool effect here. We're going to go to the top floor real quick. If you guys have noticed, there is a bleed right now, so I am very close to dying, but I think we should have enough time to finish the tour before we call it. So this is like a docking-ish style. I think there should be cranes that you can connect to like maybe like move gear and equipment. We're on the top level now, so we were in the mid-level, now we're on the top level. Here you're going to have kind of like a habitat, you know, like a crew area where you can eat. There's like a closet here for food. Really cool, but you can open and close this for when you're in battle. But for not battle, you can have it open so the crew can enjoy seeing outside, you know, just kind of raise their spirits. But during battle, that does close, which is a really cool feature. And then at the front here, we do have an elevator, which will take us down to the mid deck. And then from here, we're going to go to the front of the ship, and that'll lead us to the lower deck, essentially. So that we're like, and I say mid deck, but like it's really because there's a docking collar behind this, by the way. The reason I say mid deck is because there are technically 3 decks. The top deck with the habitat, the mid deck has all of the other, like, you know, the main portion of the ship, and then you have this area with the lower deck, which is the cockpit. So this is the cockpit. Wouldn't be a really good review if we don't jump into the pilot seat. You do have a co-pilot seat as well. Now, a lot of people have mentioned how like you lose absolute visibility of the north, you know, like not the north, but like your top side, right, of the ship. All you do as a pilot is you fly your ship into danger. The turrets are your main attack, you know, force, right? The pilot is simply maneuvering the ship. And at this point, you would have either a captain or somebody else, like a navigator, dictating where the ship should go, depending on like how the battle's looking, not depending on how the pilot, you know, deems the fight to go, right? So the way I see it is the pilot is more of like just maneuvering the ship to put the turrets in the best spot possible, not the pilot actually commanding the ship into battle. So hell, they could have put they could have put the pilot seat in the middle, like Battlestar Galactica style, right? In the middle of the ship with only overhead displays, right? And just full, like, you know, just doing it via, you know, context of like navigation clues and all that stuff. That'd be really cool. I think that's actually a really cool idea if they did that, right? We made it just in time. My character is dying. I don't know. I guess I probably maybe if I look, you know, back in the video, and I can probably see when my character got hurt. It's Star Citizen, you know, and everything and anything in this game can kill you, even when you're just strolling through a ship show. Guys, if you liked what you see, please, again, make sure to hit that like button. It means a lot to me. And yeah, if you want to see more, make sure to hit that sub button and hit the notification bell. I will be uploading videos for the next few shows coming up. So that's that. And one last thing, I'm going to ask this question after every show. Of the Aegis event, which is your favorite ship? Leave it in the comments below. I want to know, what's your favorite ship from this event? Thank you so much. I stream every Tuesday and Thursday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. We do mostly Hunt, but sometimes every now and then I do Star Citizen. So follow me there. Give me a follow. All information is in the description below. All right, guys. Love you. Bye.